Well then, this was a nice surprise, I suppose. Wanda the Timekeeper is set to release next week, everyone. So her time to shine has arrived. Now, we've already sat down to speculate wildly about this confirmed to be Clockmaker, but at quick glance here today, she is sounding even wilder than we could have imagined. So from the potential of a multiverse to a tease of her animated short that has already piqued my interest, let's talk the second half of the space-time continuum, yes. Yes, Wanda the Timekeeper is set to arrive in the Constant next week, September 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Very, very early. Which gives us time to have a lot of fun with what she's going to be giving us, folks, as she is a skilled clockmaker who will stop at nothing to outrun her future. And my gosh, the first bullet point already sets the stage, and I love it. And this is why her timeline is broken. So she ages faster than all other survivors, and her health meter has thus been replaced by an age meter. My gosh, within 30 seconds of reading about this character, I'm already in love with her potential personalities. I feel like it might change over time as she ages, which is really unique. I love her potential lore implications because of all of this. The list goes on. But, yes, the list goes on, because in her old age, she will learn how to utilize shadow magic more effectively, and will rely on it to make up for her declining strength. So that's also given us quite the insight into the actual gameplay side of her. She's using shadow magic more effectively, meaning she will gain power over time as she ages, which is almost like a glass cannon, but in a very unique way, and I love it. But yes, as we all sort of predicted, she's gonna craft pocket watches, but not just one, multiple, which I love. One of them, I suppose, is going to restore her youth. One is literally going to manipulate her space in time. One is going to return fallen survivors to their point in time before they die. One will rip literal holes through space and time. And one's going to harness shadow magic to defend herself. Holy frickin' moly, Clay. What is this character? She sounds bonkers insane, and I'm all for it. And heck, it looks like I and many other Clay ambassadors will be given access to this absolutely bonkers insane old git very, very soon. Now, will we be able to share anything as early as we might get access to it? No, probably not. But you don't have to wait that long. That said, you will be forking over some cash monies and or spools for Wanda, folks. People have been asking me a lot lately if she was gonna be free. Now, I personally never believed she would be. This is confirmation of that. However, it looks like she's coming with some pretty darn good things regardless. I mean, the character herself sounds like something we have never ever seen before in this game, so I think that alone should be worth a look. But of course, you'll get the Wanda chest with her Guest of Honor skin, you can get a Triumphant skin, the Tinkersmith skin, which sounds kind of interesting, I suppose. She kind of looks like she's in that outfit to begin with, so I don't know what they're going with here. But of course, we're also going to have a new starter pack for 2021 like they did in 2020. And heck, I might actually get that starter pack because I don't even think I have all those skins right there. But before we continue to gush over the potential of Wanda, let's take a brief look at this teaser image for Wanda's animated short, also coming next week. I mean, what is the first thing your eyes draw attention to when you see this image? The shadow hand at the left there, right? Right. How does Wanda know about a shadow hand when she is not yet in the Constant and she's simply working on other clocks in the real world? Now, we speculated weeks ago that she was somehow a colleague of Wagstaff's or somehow related to him in one fashion or another. I personally believe that Wagstaff is very, very interested in the timing of the Constant. When the sun sets in Hamlet, he is very intrigued by how fast it happens. That's a time thing. So who does he use to study time? A frickin' clockmaker, a very skilled one in real life. There's the connection, right bloody there. So let's have some fun and actually just run down that official list of bullet points of our mechanics and perks to flesh them out a little bit, at least to the best of our abilities, because we still don't flip and know what this character is going to be. But I would like to just start out, again, with the whole Wagstaff thing. I don't believe they're going to be related. I think they're going to be colleagues, and I think they're almost going to be in a yin-yang sort of situation. That's why I started today's video by saying the second half of the space-time continuum, she has some things dealing with space. I'll give you that. But I have a feeling Wagstaff's the space more. She's the time. Boom, bada, bang. Wanda might not be a very friendly old face, if you know what I mean. But that's a thing that we'll discuss once we actually watch her animation and probably get some more lore there. Hopefully it is. But yes, those bullet points. She is outrunning their future. That's the first thing we hear about this character. She is outrunning her future, meaning she knows what it is. Meaning she used the shadow magic in the past to go back once, twice, a million times. Who knows? Because the next thing is her timeline is broken, meaning she exists in a multiverse, meaning we all exist in a multiverse in this world per se, which is a whole bloody thing that they're opening up. Is this the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Are you doing this because of the MCU? I don't know. But because of both of those things, she has no health anymore. She has an age meter. Now, this is where things get interesting gameplay-wise. If she has no health but has an age meter, does that mean she's technically immune to all damage, and then only when she takes damage, the age meter is going to go up a little higher than normal? Is it going to grow over time? Does anything factor into that? Like eating foods is also going to age her more, like if she takes health damage, which is actually age damage. I mean, this sounds almost like a modded stat, you know what I mean? And I love that Clay is having fun with that. And it looks like they're definitely going all out on this, because let's talk about what happens when that age meter continues to increase somehow. At first, I'm assuming she's probably going to be pretty average. You know, maybe average damage, average stats, yada, yada, yada. But specifically, when she ages, she is able to more effectively use shadow magic because her strength decreases. Now, if we take that literally, does that mean her health decreases and her damage decreases? Right? But she doesn't have health. Never mind. Scratch that. Maybe her declining strength has something to do with her mind and, of course, her physical strength. Right? So if she's able to use shadow magic, does that also encompass everything with the watches? Or is that another side? Like, you know what I mean? Are the pocket watches something else entirely? That, of course, are going to have, you know, be influenced by that, I'm sure. But what if shadow magic is something different entirely? What if she's able to manipulate something with Nightmare Fuel or the Dark Swords or this, that, the other? What if that's a completely different side of her that we're not even considering right now because we're just all talking about these pocket watches, which we're going to talk about right now? And as far as we know, there's 5 of them. Might be more, but for right now, they gave us 5. One's going to restore her youth. One's going to manipulate her space and time. One's going to be able to reverse time to a death point of other characters, which, saying that out loud is kind of ridiculous. One's going to rip holes through space and time. And another one is going to harness shadow magic to defend herself. Now, that last one, I just reread it again, so maybe that whole thing I was just going on about doesn't actually matter, and it's actually the last one that comes together. So be it. We're here to speculate and just have some fun. But first one makes sense. If age is getting too high, you don't like it, you can just make this pocket watch, maybe use it, revert. Maybe you can reverse it, or it does say restore her youth. It doesn't say maybe go back and reverse to actually get to a higher age so that you can actually benefit more. You know, as we were saying, maybe reverse time, but also speed it up, maybe skip it, all that stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. But restoring youth, fine, basic. Now, this next one is interesting because it kind of sounds like another one, which might mean that I might think one is another while that one's that one, if you know what I mean. Because here it is. Manipulate her space and time, and then just straight up rip space and time. Like rip through it. They're almost like the same thing, are they not? So what do they mean by manipulate her space and time? Like a rollback? Like a tracer type thing from Overwatch? Right? Because ripping holes through space and time can also mean what we were kind of talking about in the first Wanda video, where she can like open an area of that to maybe speed up time, stop it, reverse it, like with farm crops and this, that, the other. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because even his next one, returning fallen survivors to a point before their death, is sounding extremely powerful. A rollback type feature, a revival type feature, that might be one of the best in the flipping game. I gotta be careful because I could probably sit here all day and bloody talk about it, and I don't really want to do that. I just wanted this to be an announcement video and a hype video of how excited we are, and trust me, I'm very excited. And this last one, harness shadow magic to defend herself. I think that's a very specific choice of words. I'm imagining Wanda's not necessarily going to be on the offensive with these abilities because I believe she is hanging on by a thread and these abilities are probably consuming her, which I really do hope is a thing. I hope the downside of these abilities, these crazy sounding abilities, these very powerful abilities, is that she almost doesn't have control, if you know what I mean. Like, she's almost losing it here and there. Maybe she has it when she's younger, but when she gets closer and closer to that, she just becomes a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff's old lady sort of deal. I don't know. I love it. This character sounds amazing. But folks, again, before I really start rambling on, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. My gosh, I can't wait to experiment and experience, Wanda with you. I guess I will be experimenting with her. Expect tons of videos coming next week. If they allow us to do some things early, then expect videos early. But we'll all find out together soon enough. Bye-bye.